So this is a paper that we are work in progress about depopulation in Nepal and its potential future implications. So I have me and my colleague, Pawan Lamsal, is working on it. So first, let me introduce Nepal. I would first ask you to consider that I'm a demographer, statistician, and making maps is just started since yesterday. So I'm using some help from others, but also I'll show you some maps that we managed to create. So Nepal is in South Asia, south of the Himalaya. We are borders between India and China. India in the south, east, and west, and on the north side it's China. It's important to consider this fact later. You will see. And it's also very important to know about the geographic condition of Nepal, which is the mountains, hills, and then the Tarai region, which is a lowland regions bordering India. So you see that a large part of Nepal is covered by the mountains. Politically, we also need to understand that very recently, like in 2015, Nepal has a new constitution which transferred Nepal to a federal state. And then, so there are 7 states are defined with 77 districts and 753 municipalities. And the devolution of power has happened, meaning that local areas they got more power on deciding on many things. Just the total population of Nepal since 1971, when there was 11.6 million people, the population has increased more than doubled to 26.4 million in 2011. So population is actually increasing. So why are we talking about depopulation? You will see that most recent, like few days ago, we concluded 2021 census, and there was just an interview saying that maybe there is like 28 million people being counted. They could be a bit higher as well. But you see that the difference of 1.6 million in the last 10 years is slowest increase in the population size of the Nepal. So this can kind of give you an idea that maybe if this continues, the depopulation will come soon to Nepal. The TFR, the total fertility rate, is also an important indicator of about births, and it has already declined below the replacement level fertility, just for your consideration here. So why are we talking about depopulation in Nepal? So this is at the national level, just like maybe it could depopulate soon. But what is interesting is what I'm going to show is at the local level, how things are happening there. So very quickly, some of the points that I haven't said earlier, this importance of unique geography is there. When the malaria was eradicated in the lowland areas with the jungles and everything, there were lots of movement from the hills to Tarai area. And we also have this open border to India, and some political decisions were made to bring more hill people to the Tarai regions, so that there is, a good kind of a human border, human wall at the borders, because ethnically people at the borders, living on both sides of the borders, are the same. And climate change is also an important thing to consider here, because in the hills areas, mountain area, the effect of climate change would be the worst, and also about the natural disaster. Education and employment, marriages are important things to consider here, that people are moving around for these regions. And then, so I will show you how what we have found so far about the depopulation. So our research question is, for the moment, is about looking at the trend at the national and subnational level, the district level, and to see what is there, what can we say about the future implications or even the current implications. So I start with this figure, which is showing the population of cohorts born in this periods, like 5-yearly cohorts, and then by their age. So this is for male, So this is the population born in 1971-76 who were captured in the census of census of 1981. They were 5 to 9 years old. And this line shows how their population, which was captured again in the census of 1991, and then 2001 and 2011 were going down, okay? So we see that the population is declining, the cohort size is declining. And then we have younger cohorts up here. So one thing I want to show here is that whenever the census captures the under 5 years, 0 to 4 years old, in the next decade, the population is actually increasing for that cohort. And this is a clear case of underreporting of the 0 to 4 years old. So I would ask you to focus after 5 to 9. So what you see here is that among the males, the decline in the cohort size is getting steeper, like as you go forward, right? So that means there are more and more younger people among the younger cohorts. The leaving the country is the rate of leaving the country is quite high. And I also add here a graph for the females. So these dotted lines, dashed lines are females. And generally we see that the female are less likely to, the females cohort size is declining slower than the males. And one of the reason is migration, that more males are migrating, but also that from this cross-border marriages, we also have lots of Indian-born marrying to the Nepalese side. So just to show this in terms of migration, so this is just the population, and in terms of migration, you see that what I have just showed for some few cohorts is reflected in this data, where this is the data from the human migration stock. This kind of shows like how many people are there in other countries originating from Nepal. And here you see that at the beginning of the 1990s, there were about 750,000 people of Nepalese origin living abroad, mostly in India. This is very important to see, and some in Saudi Arabia. But as the time progresses, we see that a lot of people, that are new destinations, that is a rapid increase. There are new destinations, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and even the US and all others. But mostly in these countries where you will have to return at someday. Yeah? And we call them absentees population because they are just absent, because someday they have to come back because these countries will not allow you to live there forever. And our kind of a conclusion here is that the depopulation could occur with increasing international migration, labor migration, but eventually when they come back, the repopulation might happen. So you will see something on the maps later. And here is also a graph showing the difference between males and females. So you see that among the females, most are in India, but among the males, it's most are in the other part of the world in this current period. And this is also the marriages is the main reason. So this also shows that for the international labor migrants, the males are almost more than double there. So next, this is at the national level. So these people are coming from different areas, right? So this international migration. So we also have data on that, but not here. Now I go to the subnational level, the districts of Nepal. So Nepal is a very heterogeneous country, and I'm very glad to see that other colleagues, other presenters also have put that there. So sorry for this a bit bad graph, but from census 2011, you can see this is how the age structure of Nepal, age and sex structure of Nepal is. Kathmandu, the capital, this has a completely different diamond-shaped age structure, whereas at the same time, there will be districts like Kalikot, where it kind of reflects a very low, less developed area. And also these are mostly from the mountains and hills, remote places. But there are also places like Khotang, this is a district. You see that the fertility is declining here, or at least the number of people, younger people are declining. But you will see this chunk of the males missing here. Of course, there's some females missing, but also the chunks of male missing. So these are the people who are going to other part of the country, but like in Kathmandu, like, this bulge here, but also the international areas. So next, I attempt to show some maps, which I did first time in my life yesterday with the help of Pawan. So this is a map of Nepal showing what is the decadal change in the population size, just to get an idea about how the population is changing. And you see that in the 1971, 1981, there were lots of areas with 15% increase, more than 15% increase of the population size, but there are also areas with declining size. And what we are currently doing is we are trying to understand what has happened there. So it could be also related with the data, but we're also trying to find out if there were some events or policies or something has happened then.
1.5 minutes, Samir.
Huh?
1.5 minutes left.
So this shows that in the most recent census, we see lots of area being depopulated. So this is a very dramatic picture showing that lots of areas are being depopulated. And this is the Kathmandu, and this is another area called Pokhara, where the projections, we have also done the projections to show that this will continue for some time. And there's some graphs that I will skip showing that the net migration from those districts are the main reasons. And there are also some graphs that I will skip and I can bring it later if needed, like why people are migrating. And for females, the cause of migration due to marriage is the main one. And then we have also done some projections to see what will happen in the future, to get some indications. And finally, we are now trying to explain what are the implications of the depopulation. So I just read this. In Nepal, we see that land abandonment and underutilization of farming is happening. Lack of able-bodied people in the community, that is resulting in many other things, but also in the loss of culture and identity, unplanned urbanization and destination, absentee population living in other countries, they have no right to vote. They have right to vote, but there is no way to vote. Family separation is the negative things, but the positive things are the return of forest and biodiversity, female empowerment, and remittance. So finally, the concluding slide, which is again the work in progress. But what we have seen so far is that national level depopulation could occur in the near future due to international level migration and low fertility. However, the absentee population will return to repopulate Nepal. And at the subnational level, internal migration has caused depopulation in the past and will continue in the future. And significant demographic, ecological, socioeconomic, and cultural implications are highly likely. And this will generate important knowledge and maybe help the policymakers and other stakeholders, especially in this federal situation we have now. And also we want to also look into other variables that we want to add here, especially learning from other presenters to improve or to understand this whole process of depopulation in Nepal. Thank you.